What up, guys? It's your boy Just King Zere. Welcome back to the Just King Zere podcast. And yeah, man, on this video, we're gonna be talking about DJ Warass, the late DJ Warass. It's crazy that I have to say that. DJ Warass has been unalived. He's been killed, shot and killed in Johannesburg, nearby Carlton Center. I believe a building called Zambezi. He was shot and killed. And yeah, it's a very bad thing. I'm gonna be discussing that. And DJ Warass was legendary DJ, legendary entertainer, and also recently he was very vocal on podcast, and already he created a new lane for himself, speaking out about issues. So yeah. Anyways, before we get into it, don't forget, subscribe to the channel so that we can grow. It's crazy that we're still here pushing, but I need you guys to subscribe. I know a lot of you support this channel, you like this channel, but many of y'all are not subscribed. Why are you not subscribed? Subscribe to the channel so that we can grow. I've got a lot of different ideas that are coming, so sometimes I might not even be able to reach all if you're not subscribed. The algorithm might not suggest to you guys. So if you're subscribed, then you are most likely to see my videos pop up on your page, on your home page. Anyways, yeah, subscribe to the channel. Let's get straight into it. DJ Warass. DJ Warass was a radio DJ who I first knew about when he was on YFM. He did well there, and he was able to grab our attention because he was very different in the way that he presented himself, because usually on radio you'd find these DJs that were very deep voice, and not to say just deep voice, but there was just a way that the DJ was, very entertaining, very engaging, very prime time media, very regular, in following a certain way of doing things. For me, DJ Warass was like a twist. Of course, there had been different people who have brought different twists to radio, the likes of DJ Spoo, who didn't have the regular radio voice. He had a very different voice, and but he was able to come in and be different as well, and had success in radio, and morning shows and all of that. But yeah, by the time DJ Warass came about, it was after those guys had changed the game, the DJ Spoos had changed the game, but he came with a different perspective, a very much dark humor, if I can say dark humor, or very honest, very thought-provoking, very I don't know if I could call him a shock jock or what, but I don't think he was that. But he was very on the edge. He was on the edge. He was different. He made you think. He made you to think, and to if you have a dark humor now, if you are edgy, then you're gonna love DJ Warass, and that made him. And yeah, he ended up becoming someone who would stay on radio for a while, on YFM, and have success there. And then eventually he would grow in the industry, start doing business and all those things, and then you would see him on multiple different radio stations as his career progressed. And then from there you would start to see him on TV, doing shows. I believe he was on live amp, and he did well there. He was with Pearl 2C and Loot Love. This was a different live, which was after the Bonangs and Tibo Touches and the Andiles. It was now a revamped version of with Pearl 2C and Loot Love, who won the live competition if I'm not mistaken. But it was around about that time when they were hosting those, when they were having those competitions, where they could get anyone, who would win the competition to come and host. So yeah, he was there, and again, he brought a new, different flair to it. Kind of like Thibaut Touch. Thibaut Touch came to live, and he has a different flair. Different perspective, and he made you think. So was DJ Warass. Rather than the usual, cup of tea that you would have, in presenting. So yeah, there was DJ Warass, and then from there I didn't hear from him for quite some time. And then when the podcasting space started popping, Mac G, in his early days, of podcasting, he ended up having DJ Warass as a guest, and Mac G, he was just having these dope people that he knew from his days, and DJ Warass happened to be one of those people, and his episode was absolutely brilliant. The episode of DJ Warass was just as entertaining. DJ Warass never held back. He gave you an entertainment. He gave you a show. He gave you a proper show when you were listening to him. He never ever sacrificed, or let me not say sacrifice. He never gave you less than he had. He gave it his all every time, and that episode was no different from what you would expect from DJ Warass. And then from there he was a bit quiet, and then but I guess at the time he was handling business and having different businesses. And then I believe there was a time where he went to Gagasi FM, and he was there. And there I didn't watch his show, I didn't listen much to his show, because where I am I can't reach Gagasi FM, because it's a Durban station, it's a KZN station. So but that so yeah, man. But then where I would find DJ Warass again was during the podcasting space. Now when the podcasting space had evolved to more of intellectual conversations, with the rise of Penwell the Black Pen with his show Convo. At the time it was called the Penwell Show, which now, apart from Mac G and his show, you started having those intellectual shows where real very intense conversations were had, and then DJ Warass had an episode, and it was one of the best episodes on that show. That was when he was talking about coloreds and the whole colored race, and how it's I won't repeat it, but it was very, very impactful. I opened up, I posted some of the clips, I clipped it up, posted it up on my TikTok channel, which does very well, sitting at over 100,000 followers currently. Those are one of the most viral clips on my channel, my TikTok channel, and that was huge, and I was very impressed by that. I knew the guy was entertaining, but I never knew he was that intellectual. So that was a very great episode, and that from there I believe that was game over. That was like Rob Hasselhoff's episode on what's that show? That show called on YouTube, Biz News. When he blew up with that, that was another blow up for Warass, and then Warass became this podcast sensation, where now he would have sequels. He would have another visit to Penwell Show, and then they would just keep having these conversations all the way until recently, and then you start to see him. He had his own podcast with DJ PH on Gareth Cliff's network, the Real Network, and they did a lot there as well. They interviewed people, and but those podcast appearances of his when he would go to this podcast were just game changing. I didn't watch too many of them, but I knew that I would have to make time. In order for me to watch DJ Warass, I'd have to make time to watch it. I didn't just want to watch it on the flimsy, on let me not say on a whim, or just catching it here and there. No, I want to just listen and pay attention. So there's probably 2 or 3 episodes that I need to catch up on, because I knew that listening to DJ Warass, I really need to be ready to hear what exactly he was saying. The man spoke about, Cape Flats. He got to show us that place is so dangerous. If I'm not mistaken, he said he compared it to war-torn countries or whatever, and how hectic it is there, the crime and all these things. So yeah, and that it's a disaster. What's happening there. So yeah, man. His podcasting journey, a lot of new people discovered him, and a lot of people who are heartbroken right now. Many of them probably didn't know his earlier days in radio, and they just saw his blow up in the podcasting space, and the type of things that he spoke about. So DJ Warass was an incredible guy, and it's crazy that he had to be unalived this way, that he was unalived this way, and I think that the law must take its course. We will find out who was behind it, and I hope those people are dealt with very, 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 very harshly. I hope they're dealt with by the law. The type of society that South Africa has become, we've become a mafia state. Having our legend here unalived this way. The other time it was AKA, our legend. Shot in, right there in front of people and all of that, and even till this day we don't know who set it up, so it's crazy. We are watching. South Africa, we are watching the type of things people are doing. We are watching. This country cannot be the way it is. We need to do something. We need to do something, guys. We cannot be comfortable with people being unalived or killed just like this, and then we speak about it for a week, and then that's it. It's over. This is crazy. We really need to be careful of the type of society that we are being around, the type of people and things that we are allowing to exist. It starts with your surroundings. Look at those children that are around you, those community children that are playing with your son or daughter. Just look at how they're behaving. Look at those things. Correct those things while it's still early. Correct the ideas and the viewpoints that people have early. Don't just sit with crime and criminals brewing right underneath your nose. Do not motivate criminality. Do not motivate people are in cabbies, people are what. Do not motivate those type of things. Shame those things. So yeah, it's a lot, guys. God be with DJ Warass's family. DJ Warass was a very, very loving guy who loved black people, he loved colored people, he loved every person in South Africa, every tribe, every whatever, and he spoke, he was a Zulu man. He said it himself, that he's a proud Zulu man, so for him to be it's very sad, man. But my thoughts and love is with DJ Warass's family. I hope God can be with them through this trying time, and may comfort them so that they can get through and be able to carry on with their lives. May there be justice. Anyways, your boy Just King Zere signing out.